Well, hi guys, Miss Jessica here, and welcome to day 9 of our daily draw for the month of December. Now today we're going to be drawing a bell, and if you guys know the Christmas carol Silver Bells, that's what I was inspired by today. But as always, have fun, be creative, and use whatever you have to create your art. Now I'm going to be using markers and chalk pastels today, so let's go ahead and jump into our draw. Grab your paper, make sure it's up and down vertical, and write number 9 somewhere at the top, any way you want. Now grab your pencils, but like always, I'll be using my Sharpie to make sure you guys can see all my lines. Now we're going to begin with the shape of a bell. Bell's going to be a little tricky to draw, so try your best, pause if need, and just press play when you're all done and ready to go. So the top of our bell is going to look a little bit like a big rainbow. So what I want you guys to do is somewhere in the middle, I'm using my finger to show you, we're going to draw a shape. It's going to curve up like a rainbow. Make sure to watch first and come down and stop again. Now notice how mine is at an angle. I'm going to make my bell kind of coming down almost as if it's pointing towards the corner of the paper. So go ahead and try that. Again, please make sure to pause, practice this a few times, press very lightly with your pencil, and press play when you're ready to move on. Now we're just going to go to the bottom. Instead of connecting them down with the line, we're actually going to curve it up and connect one side to the other. This is important because we want to be able to see the inside or the bottom of our bell. All right, now we're just going to draw another curved line to connect from one side to the other, and it should look like you can see inside of your bell. That's what we're going for. Now when a bell rings, there's a little thing inside that hits against the edges to make the noise. So we're just going to draw a little U right in the middle. All right, great job. We've already got a bell, and we're going to decorate it, of course. So I'm going to draw another curvy line right at the top, and this is going to act as a place to put some color. So go ahead, maybe even add another one on top so you can color this stripe. Now, we're going to be done with our bell here soon, so I want you guys to go ahead and finish that up, and then we're going to jump up to our holly. Now, holly is a lot of little berries and this very special kind of leaf. You can see it actually right over here on my daily draw sign. So we're going to make one of those really, really big. Floating right above the bell, we're going to draw 3 large circles. Watch first. Floating above my bell, I'm going to make one big one. Don't let it touch the bell. And then I'm going to draw 2 more above it. 1 and 2, and notice how they're all touching. That's going to be super, super important today. Go ahead and draw those 3 berries. Make sure they're really, really big. The reason we didn't touch the bell is because we're going to draw 2 curved lines from the berry to the top of the bell, and that's the part that's just connecting together. Great job, guys. All we have left is our big leaves. This is going to take up most of our paper. It's going to be so large that it'll even go off the sides. We want that to happen today. It'll make it look even bigger than it maybe is in real life. So I'm going to start on the right side next to this little berry here. Now, holly leaves are very special. I'm going to start by just drawing a line, kind of curved. That's the middle of my leaf. But watch how I make the edges. I'm going to go back to the berry, and I'm going to curve it up to a point, curve it up to a point, and I'm going to keep doing that all the way till I get to the edge of the paper. Same thing for the bottom. This time I'm going to curve down to a point, all the way till I reach the end of the paper, and I'm going to connect those together. So go ahead and try that first leaf. Now these are very big. They're not long and skinny. They're actually kind of wide. Try your best. There's no wrong way to make this as long as you guys try. We're going to do the same thing jumping to the left, but this time it's so big we can't see all of it. So please finish that up. Again, if you need to pause to finish, please do so and press play when you're ready. I'm going to start on my next little berry here, and I'm going to draw the middle of it. Again, it goes off the side of the paper. Sun kind of goes down. I'll go to the top of this berry, and I'm going to start my curves up, up, off the edge of the paper. I did about 3 curves. Jump down. I'm going to finish that up with some more coming downward and off the edge of the paper. Nice and big. Now we definitely have some room for more. So we're going to add a couple more leaves around our picture, hiding behind the other leaves. So let's go ahead and jump up to the top. I'm going to start on my berry and draw my line up, this time a little shorter, don't touch your number. Then I'll come back and I'll start my curvy lines upward to a point. Now this one is going to touch my leaf and it's just going to continue to curve up to a point. Notice how it's kind of hiding behind this one here. All right, guys, we're going to draw 2 more. Our next one is going to come up over the top of this. So I'm going to start with my straight line off the edge of the paper. Go to the top, begin my curves all the way to the end. Now this time it's going to curve down, starting on my leaf, off the edge of the paper. So it's just kind of hiding behind. Now I'm actually going to go ahead and stop right there. I really like how I have 4 leaves, 2 on each side, but if you would like to add more, please go ahead and do so. Maybe there's some over here, up at the top, but that's going to be the end of our drawing today. Now at this point, I want you guys to trace everything. So grab a Sharpie, trace all the lines you see, and I even want you to add a highlight. Now you might be wondering what that is. If you don't want to add it, you don't have to, but on my bell, I would make just a little raindrop shape, maybe a little oval underneath, because bells are shiny. I'm going to add little ovals to each one of my berries as well, because these kind of berries are very shiny too. So if you would like to add a highlight, you may, but please go ahead and pause your video, take your Sharpie, trace your lines, and press play when you're ready to color. Now our first thing is to color with our markers today. So grab your markers, and we have our very special color scheme. We're going to try to use the colors like red, green, a little bit of blue, and even some blacks and whites. So let's start with our bell here. Now, if you would like, you can make it a gold bell. I don't mind that. Gold and silver are actually really good Christmas colors too. So I'm going to make mine a silver bell. I'm going to use a gray marker, but again, you can do maybe yellow for gold, whatever color you'd like to do. And we're going to begin by outlining and filling in the bell. Now I'm outlining first to make sure I get all my white spots and make sure I don't color this middle part because that's going to be a colorful stripe. I'm going to go around the highlight, that's going to stay white. And now I'm going to begin to add nice long lines going in the same direction, making sure I get all my white spots. So let's go ahead and color in your bell, whatever color you chose. Now we're just going to do the top of the bell. We'll do a different color for the bottom. Don't forget those white spots, go back and double check. Now I'm going to skip and I'm going to color in this bottom part, leaving that middle empty so I can color it in a color later on. Now underneath the bell down here, we're going to make it look dark. So I'm going to take my same color and I'm just going to fill in this little tiny U we drew. Then I'm going to switch to a darker version of my color. So the darker version of gray or silver is black, but the darker version of maybe yellow would be orange or a red, or you guys can continue to use that color. It's all right, whatever you would like to do. But I'm going to switch to my black now, and I'm just going to outline and fill in this bottom area to make it look darker than the top. And then nicely fill that in as well. Getting all my white spaces, especially with a dark marker, because you can really see white spots if they get left behind. Awesome, you guys. Now I forgot to mention one thing with my silver again. I have to come up here to the part underneath this berry because that's part of my bell that's holding on to the holly. All right, of course, if you guys need more time coloring in that bell, please spend as much time as you need. Pause your video and finish up. But I'm going to go ahead and color in my stripe now. I can do any color I want. I think I'm going to do a red. So you can look for red. You can also do maybe green or any blue color would look really good. I'm just going to fill that in. Outlining first and getting my white spots and then just doing my nice long lines to color that in. That bell's looking pretty good. Now I'm going to keep this red in my hand because I'm going to color in my holly next. Each one of these is going to be red, but I'm going to try my best not to go on the highlight. That needs to stay white. But I'm just going to use my marker to outline and fill each one in. So once you're done, you can go ahead and move on or just take your time. have one thing left to do with our markers, and that's going to be our leaves. Now we're not going to color in all of our leaves. We're going to use some chalk pastels for the rest. But we are going to trace. So once you're done with those berries, please grab a green, any green you want. I have a lighter green. And you're going to trace the middles of each holly leaf. And that's the end of our marker. So of course, take your time, finish that up. When you're ready, grab those chalk pastels, and we will begin our last steps. All right, now for our leaves, we're going to use a darker green. We're going to lay it down flat, and we're going to pinch and pull up and down lines all the way. Now, we don't want to fill in so much that we have dust, but we're just going to add a couple lines inside. You can turn your paper. You could leave white space showing, that's fine. Now, once you're done, we're going to blend the chalk so it spreads around the leaf. So put that back, take 1 or 2 fingers, and you're going to blend that chalk pastel around, getting so close to those edges. Careful, don't go on your holly berries. Now, don't stop blending until all the white is gone in your leaves. If you need a little more, please go ahead and add some. We're just going to blend each one. Again, 1 or 2 fingers is all you need. I'm going to use 1 so I can get super close to my edges. Just like so. Now, these are pretty cute already. If you would like to, you can take your chalk again, hold it like a pencil. We're going to use the edge, and we're just going to outline the bottoms of each leaf. One more time. Again, you don't have to, but if you would like to try, this just adds some shading. Then you take 1 finger and you just gently swirl that chalk dust up into the leaf, and it makes it look a little darker on the bottom than on the top. So go ahead and finish up those leaves. We only have 1 thing left, and that's in the background. Now, my finger's really green, so I'm going to take a wipe. I'm going to wipe the green off. If you need to, go run to the sink, wash your hands really quick, because we want nice clean fingers for our next and last step. If you have any chalk dust, bring it to the trash can. Gently shake it inside. If you don't have a trash can, just tap it nicely on your table very carefully, and then wipe up any chalk that might have spilled. All right, guys, our last thing is to add some snow. I want you to grab your light blue chalk pastel, and when we hold it like a pencil, we want to use the corner, the pointy part. And all around the background, you're going to draw little blue circles. So take that chalk and all around, don't fill the circles in, but just draw little blue circles, spreading them around your picture. Up at the top, you can go next to the number 9. Just go right there. Now, once you feel like you have enough, keep going if you don't. But if you feel like, okay, I have enough, you're going to take 1 finger, and at each circle, you're just going to swirl in a little circle, and it just gently blends that color out, makes it not so bright, and we start to have these little snowflakes all over our picture. So go ahead and do that to all the circles. You don't need too many. Keep the paper white. And that, you guys, is the last step. So clean off your finger if you need to. Maybe it's a little blue. Clean up your chalk. If you need more time, again, please take that time to do so. But this is such a cute project. You guys did a great job. Thank you so much for joining us for day 9. I hope to see you guys again soon.